Good morning, guys. This is video number 2 for assignment number 2 for the week of April 20th through 24th, 7th grade math. And this assignment deals with graphing inequalities. So the first thing we need to remember is from the first assignment with inequalities, they're going to look a lot like an equation. You're going to have a variable, you're going to have some constant numbers, but rather than an equal sign where there's one answer, you're going to have an inequality sign where there's going to be more than one answer. And so I've listed out the 4 inequality signs: less than, greater than, less than or equal to with the line underneath, and greater than and equal to also with the line underneath. Okay. When we're graphing inequalities, remember that these 4 signs are going to determine what your graph looks like, the direction the arrow goes, as well as what kind of dot to use. And by dot, remember that these inequalities are going to have a circle on them, okay, at a number, and that circle is either going to be open or closed. So if we look at the first two, less than or greater than, okay, these two graphs are going to have an open circle, okay? With an open circle, whatever number we're talking about, so if we said that x is less than 1, okay, and we had an open circle, this isn't a 0, it's an open circle, okay, that means that 1 would not be an answer. We couldn't put a 1 here and say that 1 is less than 1. It would have to be like, so this 1 cannot be a solution, okay? Over here with these, the less than and equal to and greater than equal to, these graphs are going to have the closed in circle or the filled in circle, okay? And these mean that whatever answer, so if we go back to the same one, x is less than or equal to 1, okay? Now 1 could be a solution, okay? We could say that 1 is less than or equal to 1 because of the equal sign underneath. So if you just remember, open circle is for less than or greater than, closed circle is when you add the equal to underneath each symbol. Okay, so looking at the first one, when you are given an inequality statement and a number line and asked to graph it, the first thing you're going to do is look at the number that's following the inequality sign, and that's going to tell you if the variable is by itself, which in this lesson all of them will be. Okay, you will, that's going to tell you where to put your dot. So I'm going to go to 5, and since this is a greater than symbol, it's going to be an open circle. Okay. When we did this in class, we practiced graphing above the line. You'll notice on the worksheets, they'll graph on top of the number line, but if you'll keep it above, it's just easier to kind of keep track of. Okay, so our 5 is where our open circle will be. And then I'm going to shade or draw my line in the direction that makes this statement true. So I'm going to draw my line for the numbers that are greater than 5. And over here, 6, 7, and 8 are greater than 5. So my arrow will go in that direction. Okay, and if I wanted to test it, I can choose any number that's underneath this line. So if I chose 7, 7 is greater than 5. So that tells me that my answer is correct. Okay, number 3 on your worksheet, x is less than or equal to 4, and your worksheet had a lot more numbers, so I tried to include more of them. Once again, I'm going to start here. Since my variable is by itself, I'm going to go to 4, okay, which is over here. And this is less than or equal to, okay? So I'm going to have a closed in circle because 4 could be a solution to this problem. Okay. I'm going to look for the side of the number line, which makes this true. The numbers that are less than 4, which would be in this direction. Okay. Remember, the less than is going to be to the left. Okay. So all of these numbers shown, and it goes on past the number line, all of these like 0, 0 would make that a true statement. Okay. The second part of the assignment asks you to to write the inequality statement, okay? And so on this one, they have given us this statement, they've given us this number line, okay? Where we have at -2, we have a circle, okay? And our line is going to the left, okay? You can choose any variable. We just always usually stick with x, so I'm going to stick with x on this one. So x, and I know that it's going to be -2. Okay, so now I have to decide which symbol to put in here. Okay, and I know that it's going to the left. Okay, and so that's going to mean less than. Okay, and I also know that this is an open circle, which means that it's not going to have the inequality equal sign underneath. So this would just be x is less than -2. Okay. Looking at number 10, so this is problem number 10 on your worksheet. Okay, on number 10, we have a filled in circle over here at 5 with a line going to the right. Okay, once again, I'm going to choose X just to keep it simple. You could choose any variable that you'd like. Okay, and I know that 5 is going to be my constant. Okay, this time I have a closed in circle, so I know it's going to have the equal sign with it underneath. And it's going to the right. It's showing me that the numbers are going to be bigger than 5. Okay, so X is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, on your assignment, I had this written, but if you are doing this digitally, you do not have to recopy. Like down here on these problems where you're writing the inequality statement, you do not have to recopy the number line. Up here, you do need to recopy it so that I can see that you've made your graph. Okay, guys, when you're making your graphs, make sure that you don't have to include all of these numbers. We were just saying, if you'll put your number in the middle, so whatever your constant is, we were putting in the middle when we were in class and giving me a few numbers on each side, but you have to number the number line correctly. And remember that positives are going to the right and negatives are going to the left. Okay, once again, if you have any questions, please let me know.